What's up, guys, gals, and non-binary pals? We are here talking more Avatar Studios news. Finally, it has been so long since we were last able to do an update. I'm not even on camera. That's how fast I got this setup going just so we can finally talk about something. We recently just got information. This is courtesy of Deadline is where I'm pulling it from, is that Avatar The Last Airbender has officially been announced to have 3 animated projects coming from Avatar Studios. The first film is going to be directed by Lauren Montgomery. Lauren Montgomery has worked on the original series, Avatar The Last Airbender, and the sequel series, Legend of Korra. Also has worked on Voltron Legendary Defender and Young Justice, all projects that I think are awesome, even if Voltron didn't have the best ending. I think that Lauren has proven to be a veteran, especially in the Avatar verse, so that's exciting. We also got word of an official still. This is all coming from the Annecy Animation Film Festival. So apparently, there's no footage of it or screen caps of it. The first still was of the Earth Kingdom with like a giant pillar overseeing like some sort of wall. We kind of have a picture or an idea of what it looks like from the episode of season 2 Avatar The Last Airbender, the Avatar State. But the really cool news that we're getting is from none other than Avatar News. Avatar News is a pretty reliable source when it comes to Avatar information. They don't just tell us every single rumor that they hear, they kind of try and vet everything. Take it with a grain of salt, but they're usually pretty reliable, so that's exciting. They have come out and said that the 3 films that are in production are Kyoshi, Fire Lord Zuko, and Avatar Korra. So that is going to be, from the looks of it, 1 Avatar film every year. Kyoshi coming in 2024, Zuko coming in 2025, and Korra coming in 2026. So, I have a lot of thoughts about this. First off, no Aang. I think not having Aang is kind of an interesting idea. So there's a couple ways they can go about this. They can do like the Search, the comic book, right? The graphic novel where we find out what happens to Ursa, Zuko and Azula's mother. Aang, Katara, and Sokka are a very big part of that story, but it does focus heavily on Zuko and even Azula. So you can say it's a Zuko movie with them as like supporting characters, or, you know, here's another idea. You can just tell an original story with Zuko in the Fire Nation. That's the cool thing about where Avatar The Last Airbender ends, right? If you want to tell a teenage, 20-year-old, 30-year-old Zuko, he doesn't have to be tethered to Aang. He is living his own life as the Fire Lord, right? So I think you can really play around with that angle as well. You'd probably have Mai, and Ty Lee, and even Suki be more supporting characters for Zuko as opposed to the original gang. Or again, you can have them come in and out of the story. That's what's so fun about telling it in that universe. You can do whatever you want. You can go anywhere you want. So the Zuko idea is cool. But yeah, the first film being about Kyoshi. We've talked about this before, that Kyoshi's novels are fantastic. They can just straight up adapt those. We still are trying to figure out if those are canon, if they're not canon. So is it a Star Wars situation where things exist and they are no longer canon, or is it a comic book situation where, yeah, you know, the Batman is inspired by Batman Year One and The Long Halloween, but it is not exactly that story type of deal, right? And it's not saying the other one doesn't exist or it doesn't matter, it's just an adaptation or an influence for what the movie is going to do. You know what I mean? So I feel like they can do anything with this Kyoshi one. The easy thing to do would be to animate it, because the Kyoshi books are just novels, they're not graphic novels. So even turning it into a graphic novel would transform the medium. Animating it, oh boy, that'd be amazing. But again, Kyoshi is the longest living Avatar, so you can tell any story at any point in her life, and it could be dope. That's cool. Lastly is the Korra film, which apparently takes place after the end of the series of The Legend of Korra, which is pretty interesting. The Legend of Korra still has comic books running, just like Avatar The Last Airbender did. The Avatar The Last Airbender comics kind of stopped within like the last year or two, I believe. And so now they're just kind of like one-off books about Katara and Toph, I think. But the Korra books are still running. So that is an interesting situation. I don't know where they're going to try and play with Korra and the legacy of those comic books. I think Turf Wars is still going on. There is a lot of room to play with Korra. especially since where we left her, and she's still a very young woman. We don't know how her story ends either. So that could be really cool. You can even do a really old Korra, like old woman Korra, and have her in her 60s. Maybe she even dies in the film, and then we see the next Avatar reborn. That's a little dark. I don't think they'd go that way. I'd like them to just, still have Korra in her prime, facing new challenges with her friends, yada, yada, yada. That's just me. For the first film, if you want to make a Korra series and continue it that way, that's cool too. That is everything with Avatar Studios. We still have stuff from Avatar Netflix, which is probably going to be another video I'm going to pump out in the next week or so. And don't worry, I didn't forget all the lore videos, I promised you guys. I'm planning for them to kind of release around the time we get the Yang Chen novel, so expect the Kyoshi video before the Yang Chen novel comes out in July. That's exciting. It'll also kind of help you understand, if you haven't read those books, lay the foundation on why I think the Kyoshi movie can be inspired by that, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you want to see from these films. Again, we have Avatar Kyoshi, Fire Lord Zuko, and Avatar Korra. 3 amazing characters. I can't wait. Again, take it with a grain of salt. It's not an official announcement, so I'm fairly confident that these are the films we're going to get. They make sense. Hopefully, we get some official concrete news again in the coming months. With that said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And as always, stay flaming. Peace.